Hi everybody, I'm going to do another series on making an Old West gun belt with a tapered end. I'm actually going to be making two belts in this series with different styles of doing a few things, like different ways to attach the bullet loops. So I've already done, I don't know, an hour or two's worth of work getting everything prepped. What you're going to want to start with is your belt blank, which this is another piece from the vegetable tan split I got from Springfield Leather Company. I think that was, you get almost 30 square foot of leather. I think it was for 50 bucks. So really good deal, really good quality leather. I think it's Herman oak. So you start by getting a straight edge. I come down, I don't know, 5-6 inches or more from the edge, the straightest edge I got. Cut a straight line, and then I use my wooden strap cutter to strap out my big piece. And then I also, to taper the end, I'm going to take whatever buckle you're using. I've got 3 different ones here. Haven't decided which ones I'm going to be using, but these 2 here look more historically accurate. This is just a belt off of, or a buckle off an old belt I had. But I'm going to make it so it'll fit this one and it'll also fit the other 2. So I measured this one. It's about 1.25 inches, so I got where I'm tapering it. It's going to be a little under that, so it'll fit. So with this belt, well, let's talk about this one first. I've done part of the work, and I'm going to do some of it in the camera. But my overall width here, I think 2.25 inches is what I like for a gun belt, especially a tapered one. Any thicker or smaller than that, I don't care for it. Historically, they were 2 to 5 inches, but I like 2.25. So my overall belt's going to be that, and then I'm going to cut off a 1/2 inch on the ends for the taper. So what you can do is measure down a 1/2 inch, make a mark, another 1/2 inch, make a mark, and then I came in on the buckle side. I came in about 6 inches, so you'd make a mark for that, and then cut a line to 6 inches, and then I just took my ruler, my straight edge. Actually, I use this one because it's stiffer, and then I just came out from where that end was to 2 inches. So that's what I'm going to do here. Just going to butt my end of that up to there, come out to 2 inches. I'm going to right where my cut is, and I'm just going to make a cut at 2 inches. So there's my taper. On the other side, I came in, let's see, where did I come in? I came in 10 inches and then started my taper. So what you can do is, mark it all out and cut it with a utility knife. Since I have a wooden strap cutter, I've been using that to cut it to right here and then doing the taper. I've already got this one marked out so I can cut it with a knife, so I guess I'll just do that on this one. Cut away from your main part of your project. Just follow that line. I made all these lines in pencil, but by the time you bevel it and do your edge work, those marks will be gone even if you don't cut them away completely. And on a split, you can really mark either side. You don't have to do all your marks on the back and then make sure that you basically have to build your belt backwards doing that. Otherwise your buckle and everything will be for the wrong hand. If you're right-handed, it'll end up being a left-handed belt, and I know that sounds kind of crazy, but with a Western gun belt, it can be right or left-handed, and they're both different. So I'm going to flip it the other way and cut along the line I already made for the taper. And that's about a 2 inch taper here. Okay, And then you always want to save these because they work really good for your belt keepers by your buckle. So I got all sorts of them here from what I've been doing. And this belt I used a strap cutter already and made my slits. I'll show you that in a minute. So another thing you got to do is figure out your bullet loops. So on this one is going to be, I'm going to stitch the bullet loops together. I've already got it all marked. So this one I got marked on the face. And what I did was I came in a 1/2 inch, made a mark, came in another 1/2 inch, made another mark. I came in 9 inches from the back end of my taper on my strong side. This is for a right-handed gun belt, so this is where your billet would be. Came in 9 inches from there, 1/2 inch down, made a mark. And then my straps, I ended up with 34 stitches is what they're going to be. So then I marked, and my bullet loops for stitching ended up being 1 centimeter apart on the belt itself. So every centimeter, 34 centimeters, this 30 centimeter ruler, I came in and made a mark. So that's where I'll be doing my chisel holes. So that's what that looks like. You line your chisel up with your top line and your bottom line, and then that mark. So that's how you get them straight, and then your spacing. Hopefully I explained that the way it made sense. This one I haven't done the lines across yet, but I have them marked where they need to be, where they need to start and stop. Both basically, except this one I marked. This one I got marked on the back side of it to do 2 different methods. I'm going to pretend this one's top grain instead of a split. So we'll do more on that one in another video. But that's the basics for that. I'm going to show you another way to taper the ends. Just a second here, I got to move to a different table. Okay, so instead of cutting where I'm tapered right here, what I did is I took my strap cutter, come in set it for a 1/2 inch, and I came down to my marks that I had on here, and I took a round end punch, and I'm just going to use the edge of that. I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to lay that end right in there, and then hit it with my mallet. And then you get that. So it looked a little different angle. An English point would probably work better there, but I don't have one. But for a gun belt, it's not going to be going through loops on your pants or whatever. I don't think it's going to be an issue. It won't like get snagged on anything. Just a little different looking taper. I think it looks pretty good. So on this one, I'm going to use a round end punch to round off my ends. Wrong size here. And the other one, I'll just clip the corners, I think. And these are just cheap round end punches off of Amazon. Nothing spectacular. That's the main belt there. I'm going to go back to the other table for a minute before I end off the video. This one, for my ends, instead of rounding them off, I'm just going to clip the corners. Just going to freehand it and eyeball it. Time for a new blade on my knife, I think. just use a different knife. Not perfect, but it'll look better once I get done edging it. So that's the basics, I think, on how to get started. And then I'll show you guys how to put your bullet loops on in more detail and get everything else attached and put together. I guess that's it for this one, and thanks for watching.